We're starting, and we are live. We are live. One month later, after our biggest show, we are live on YouTube, live on Cage Side Seats, live on Twitter.com, live on Facebook, and yeah, it is me, your host in Arizona, Tommy, with the co-host, with the man, the legend, Money's over in North Carolina. Money's, how you doing?
Woo!
Exactly.
I'm doing that. That's how I'm doing. Woo! WrestleMania. I feel like we're back. I feel like we just said this a year ago.
I know, man. Time kind of flies, man. And the producer's not even here, man. He's out on assignment, roaming the Portland wilderness, looking for hot scoops.
He's always on the damn assignment, man. How do you produce a show, but you're always on assignment?
We haven't been on iTunes for 3 months.
We haven't?
We haven't, man. Sorry. I started to have this show meeting live on air, but we have not been on iTunes for like 3 months. That's why I don't say iTunes in the intro anymore.
I haven't even noticed that. Oh, I've lied to the people.
Yes.
Sorry. Our last show got 837 views, though.
Our last show was the biggest show ever, February 21st, and we wait a month between shows. I don't know.
Look, this is what I know. You got to give people more of what they want. And when you leave them hanging, more of them flock. Quote, either Kevin Nash or Shawn Michaels, one of the two. We left them hanging. Now it's time and we're back. We're here to explain ourselves.
Yeah, it's been a wild month. We're like 20 days away from WrestleMania, less than 20 days, I think. And yeah, there's a lot to talk about. Tag divisions, Baron Corbin getting a big push in his League of Doom. Miz and face turns and heel turns everywhere. Lots happened in the month. Ronda Rousey versus everyone. Just a few things we're going to touch on the next half hour to 45 minutes or so with a two-man booth. Run the two-man weave over here. Theron live and Theron's feeling ill right now. He's suffering from allergies. So the North Carolina spring season, the changing of the seasons has affected him. So this is like Michael Jordan's flu game. Game 5. He's just battling through the elements here to podcast because we only got 3 more Thursdays before WrestleMania. So we got to get something in here.
There's 3 Thursdays until WrestleMania is on.
Yeah, man, it's that quick, man. We got three more shots at the hoop.
It did say less than 2.5 weeks, but I guess that was literally right under 2.5 weeks. Like one day move. So it's exciting. You got TakeOver Brooklyn. Don't forget about that. That's big. There's so much to talk about. I don't know if we have time. It's like Bed Bath & Beyond, Home Depot.
There's not gonna be enough time, Frank the Tank. There really isn't. I guess let's go right down the outline, man. The first thing we should probably talk about is all the face and heel turns that have happened over the last month since we've been gone. You mentioned Dean Ambrose, Ronda Rousey. Who else did you have in mind for WWE's switching of characters?
Well, obviously, you said Dean Ambrose and Ronda Rousey. You said that The Miz and Kevin Owens are both baby faces out of left field. You know, Elias was a heel, then a face. Now he's a heel again. Ambrose, base heel face. Daniel Bryan turns. Ronda Rousey is now, for whatever reason, and it's funny that they wouldn't do this with Roman Reigns, but they'll do it with Ronda Rousey. She's now the heel in all of this. And, well, so is Charlotte, but you know, there's just so many turns, and I'm just like, man, you guys are just going crazy with the turns. I don't mind them though. I like them. You like them? I mean, The Miz is a face.
I like that. Yeah,
that's cool. He's a better heel, but he's always going to be a better heel. But he's good as a face. I mean, he's a great promo. He's a good in-ring worker, and he's going to kick Shane McMahon's ass. He said so. We'll see. Kevin Owens as a face.
I like that, man, because I just haven't done it. I don't know if he was even a face down at NXT, except maybe for a couple weeks, and then he turned on Sami Zayn as soon as he gets down to NXT.
I don't think that happened. I think he was a face for all of 30 seconds. And he shook his hand, and then he apron bombed him. So we don't even see that move anymore. I'm guessing his injuries. He's got a new finisher.
Oh yeah, we didn't even talk about that. He's just out here stunning people like a lovable '90s Attitude Era face.
Yeah, Fight Owens Fight meets Stone Cold Steve Austin meets a grizzly beard minus 30 pounds and a brand new sleeve. I support all of this. Shout out Kevin Owens.
Yeah, man. So I think that's another. So I think we're 2 for 2 on face turns, and then Dean Ambrose is a face. because he got reunited with the Shield. So okay, I kind of like that too, because I think he wasn't doing anything really good as a heel. He had that one Bane promo, and then that's about it. That's about it. What about you?
Yeah,
What do you think?
they just left him in that character for a small time. Just just kind of go out there, and his whole style was different. But I'm with it because now he's back to Dean Ambrose that we knew before he got hurt. He's bigger. He's got a new haircut, but he's doing the wild, crazy, lunatic thing. So I'm guessing we'll just ride this to the end of Mania and see if he's actually leaving, which he probably is. He's probably going to sign with All Elite Wrestling right after Mania and go back to Johnny Moxley or whatever his name was.
Mm-hmm.
I support all of this. Shout out AEW, shameless plugs, Too Sweet for Life, and the Elite. Sue me, Paul. Go ahead. I said Too Sweet on the air. I don't care.
There's a cease and desist letter arriving at your.
I would love a cease letter from you, Paul. I forgot to put you on the outline, but you will make it. I'll probably bunk Kurt Angle off of this to talk about Paul Heyman, and not Paul Heyman, but Paul Levesque versus David Batista.
Oh my gosh, that's happened. That's happened since last month. That's happened. Jeez, man, totally missed out on that.
Freaking Blue Oakleys, bro. What do you mean? This is a big deal.
He's got a damn nose ring.
Dave Batista aligned himself with a gang set. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, blue nose ring with blue shades. He's doing freaking drooling promos on Monday Night Raw, and then he's sitting in his office and conducting interviews. I hope that, you know what? Get this outline. We're going to talk about this right now.
Okay, they're going off the rails.
I hope that David Batista walks to that WrestleMania ring and kicks the living crap out of Triple H because he is the guy that won't give me a chance. You wrote me a letter in 2015 that said, thank you for trying out for Tough Enough, but we're going to go with this guy that's going to be a younger version of you. So I'm pissed off about that, Paul, and I'm taking names, and I hope that Mr. Batista comes to WrestleMania and he kicks your ass all up and down that ring. I don't care what he did to Ric Flair. Ric Flair signed up for that. That's wrestling. I broke the fourth wall. He agreed to that spot. He took that spot well. You're going to go down, Triple H. I hope you do, you son of a bitch. I hope
Oh, my God. The producer's gone. It's gone uncensored. Can't say that on heat.
Somebody should edit that out.
We don't have that power. We're just hosts. We're not producers. Yeah, man, but I'm digging the Batista, man. It's like I'm kind of mad we only get him for a month. He only came up for that with Flair promo, and then he was gone for like 2 weeks, and now he's back the last 2 weeks. But he's been money, man. I love this Batista, this Hollywood Batista. He's just kind of like freestyling, it feels like. You feel like everything is like off the cuff. Everything's like from his heart, and I think it makes for a good feud. So I'm kind of excited about that match, and more than excited than I usually would be.
Yeah, man, this is way better than his last return. You know, that one was ruined by Daniel Bryan and him trying to be a face. Like, this Batista run, it felt special. It definitely resonates. Like, you can tell that it's real emotions that we're seeing, right? Like, they're putting this angle of like Triple H just used him, and that's why I hope he gets his ass kicked, because he has used every single person he's aligned himself with. Look all the way back to the valets. He used the valets to get himself a name. I think Sable was one of his valets. If I'm not mistaken, I think that's where they first used her. I don't remember who his first valet was, but it was one of those girls. Boom. So now you see Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Then, boom, he aligns himself with D Generation X. He uses that. Boom. Then he goes to what was after DX? The Evolution. Boom. He's the leader. Boom. So, and then from there on, I mean, basically he was the game, but he had Stephanie McMahon. And, I mean, I could go on. He used Randy Orton's legacy to build another feud. I mean, we could just keep going. Then he built off The Undertaker for about 3 to 5 years. And then there was Brock Lesnar. All he does is use people to put himself over.
Nobody has Seth Rollins, too.
Over, and I hope to God he gets his ass kicked at WrestleMania. I really do hope that Batista does not have his last match and lose to Triple H, because we all know how this goes. The McMahons are supposed to come out on top somewhere. And it ain't going to be Kofi Mania's expense, goddammit.
Yeah, so more Batista. Have you seen the trailer for the Marvel's Endgame? Is Batista in that movie?
Trailers for everything. By the way, Batista in Guardians of of the last movie from the Avengers was dope, especially when he was eating those Krog nuts and pretending he was invincible. That was great. He wasn't invincible. But,
you said you couldn't see him.
seems like we're going to see some time travel, which means we'll probably get another Bros Before Elbows exclusive No Wrestling Avengers Endgame podcast. Look forward to the summer. It's probably coming out.
Makes sense to me, man. Yeah, that looks tight. Man, more Batista, more Triple H. I think that could be a show stealer somehow. And I think it's like a street fight. It's like no disqualification, anything goes. So that could be a fun.
When did they even do that? All Triple H says was, if you want me at Mania, you got me at Mania. And then Batista accepted that. When did they make it a street fight? They just put that on the internet? They tweeted that? How'd that happen?
I'm pretty sure it was in there, man. I don't know. Look it up on Wikipedia real quick.
No, you're right. I'm just saying. I don't know when they did that, because it wasn't in the exclusive satellite interview from Dave Batista's office in Hollywood. I'm assuming.
No, I think it was the week before when Batista showed up with freaking.
Security guards?
Yeah, same security guard. It's a no holds barred match. So I guess no DQ, same thing. Yeah.
I really hope Batista wins. Oh God, he's gonna lose, isn't he?
I know, man. That's going to piss everyone off, man. I really hope Triple H doesn't win. But Triple H has lost a lot of WrestleManias recently, so I don't think he's won since Sting, if I remember correctly.
Sting with shenanigans. Let's not forget that part.
That was a lot of shenanigans. NWO and DX all forming as one. Yeah, man. So I mean, Triple H might be due for a win here. I have to come over Batista.
That's okay. I mean, I don't want him to win. I want Batista to win, or at least kick the crap out of him, for a good while. Injure him. No, don't injure him. I don't want to. Just make him look injured.
He got injured in his last match with Brothers Destruction and DX reforming.
Covered to come back from that. That was at SummerSlam?
That was at Super Showdown. No, Crown Jewel. Well, not, yeah, Crown Jewel. One of those ones. Yeah.
Cried after that match, Shawn Michaels cried. I cried too. Connected to Jesus. But it's true. It's damn true. Look it up. You can't. There's no video of it, but it happened.
Come to Jesus moment.
Okay.
What else is on the outline is Ronda Rousey. We briefly talked about her heel turn, but her versus everyone. She's going off script or destroying Dana Brooke at every chance she gets. I kind of like this Ronda Rousey as a heel, man. Like, is this kicking ass and just like brutalizing people? I think they should have done this a long time ago, but I'm glad that I guess it's better late than never. What do you think about Ronda Rousey versus everybody?
I am all for this pseudo Marine Sonya Blade meets Katana meets her sister Melina Ronda Rousey. Like, this is UFC Ronda Rousey. She was never really a heel, but she didn't have time to be nice to people. It was
true.
Show up, kick ass, and leave until she lost.
Mm-hmm.
Rest. And then, came back and lost again, and then went to WWE and tried to be nice. And none of us were buying her niceness. And so now we have this asshole bitch. And I'm all about this asshole. I'm sorry, I keep cussing on the show.
It's cool.
We have this raw, mean, gritty, I'm gonna break her arm now, and I don't care. And I don't care about you fans because you don't care about me, so don't cheer for me. You're all fake. That's what's wrong with a lot of people in society. They're fake, and Ronda's letting them know they're fake, and I like it, especially since we're still not sure if she's leaving after WrestleMania. So if this is her last hurrah, I'm glad they fixed it at the time they did. This is a good way to go out, man. And if she's not going out, keep her as a heel. You still got the 4 horsewomen feud you can do, so I'm with it.
I forgot about the horsewoman feud. Yeah, man. I agree, man. Yeah, it's just better. It's just more natural for her. Yeah, it was hard, like you said. It's hard for her to be a smiling babyface. I think being a jerk is just like in her DNA, and just being like above people, or it's just easier role for her to play. And I think she's just really excelling. And yeah, I look forward. I hope she doesn't leave after WrestleMania. Now that I think about it, I hope she sticks around longer. Yeah, 'cause
she doesn't need to leave. I mean, if she wants to start a family, fine. I get it. I'm never going to stop anyone from doing what they want because, well, they're not going to listen to me anyway. They're famous. I'm not. But, she's on to something with this. And you got to remember that she's doing all this stuff as basically a little over a year removed from first wrestling ever.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, like, this is a lot to ask of a person. Hey, we're just going to throw you right into the limelight of all of this pressure and good luck. But you know what? She's been there in the UFC. Now, guess what? It's fake, like she said. I'm sorry, spoiler alert. So she's playing into that. Of course she is. It's good for business. It's best for TV. This evil Ronda, I like it. What else do we have?
Just piggyback on that. Do you think Becky Lynch has like cooled off a little bit since Fastlane, since Royal Rumble, even Elimination Chamber? I feel like her star is like sinking instead of peaking, and right now
it's almost like they rushed her. Not even that they rushed it. It just she basically Soldier Boy. She went viral with her tour, and now no one's talking about Soldier Boy already. That was only like 2 months ago. All of the stuff you just said was in the last 3 to 6 months, right? And she heel at whatever pay-per-view or whatever, however that happened. And then subsequently, Charlotte turns heel right after that. Bad move. I don't know why you turned them both, but she was hot. And I still support Becky all the way. But I just don't, now she's got a broken leg. Like, you didn't have to do that. That doesn't make you the man. That just makes you the person who got hurt. Like, why would I buy your story? You were already over. And now they're turning her back into more of a face. Like, she's not a stone cold Steve Austin. But Vincent Kennedy McMahon, rumoredly, has bought into Becky, and she is the one that he has chosen. She is his chosen female, I guess. So we'll see what happens. What do you think her star is cool, would you say? So you don't think she's as popular anymore?
That feels like, I feel like they kind of like fumbled it too much. Like they drug it out too long. Instead of having it Ronda and Becky, the build-up, they had this like distraction with her getting suspended, then her getting out of the match and having to win her way back in the match. Like they made too many, instead of like following the road to WrestleMania, they made it too many like pit stops, or they made too many like turns off the freeway, and they kind of like distracted me from the story a little bit. And I feel like it's kind of hurt Becky Lynch in the end.
Well, don't forget there's this whole queen named Charlotte Flair, who's no slouch in the ring, that's also in this match.
So I don't even feel like that's like, I get that they have had a long rivalry, her and Becky, but I feel like it's just shoehorned between Charlotte and Ronda. They don't really have anything to go on.
They just kind of threw it all together to just add star power to the match, but they didn't need it. They had First Lynch, which people were talking about at WrestleMania last year. So I'm like, why would you throw Charlotte in there? Why would she not fight Asuka again or something? I mean, you did Rock and Cena twice. You can easily do Charlotte and Asuka again, but we're probably going to do Asuka versus Mandy Rose, in which God's perfect creation finally realizes her dream and becomes the women's champion. But I digress. I'm only speaking in relative terminologies. It's not going to be Naomi, okay? There's video footage of her husband really drunk and her also really drunk. I'm surprised those two aren't fired, because I'm pretty sure she should have got a DOI, and I'm pretty sure that this dude should have to pay a fine or something legally. But I don't know.
They're famous. They get out of it.
They're going to get out of it.
I think so, man, because they're famous, man. But I don't know, man.
No punishment. You just drunk. You wasn't really disorderly. You just peed in public or something. She drove the wrong way on the street.
Yeah, it's dangerous, man. But I guess it was a downtown area. I guess they didn't know, like.
She was also drunk.
Yeah, she sounded super drunk driving. Yeah. But I guess Uso took off his shirt and started like.
I read the report you put out. Well, someone put out. No snitch. Put it out. I couldn't tell you. I ain't got nothing to say about that person. But yeah, he took his shirt off and tried to fight him. Right? That's what they were saying.
Yeah, man. He was in the cop car, like shirt off, man. So I don't know. It's not a good sign, but I don't know. They're still the tag team champions, so yeah.
Yeah, I was like, man, I feel like WWE was trying to get a leg up. They're like, well, if we give them the titles now, if anything comes out, we have to get rid of them. At least they have the run now, so we'll run with them while they're hot. That's just me. That's evil me. That's the very Thanos in me, just using you for everything you have, throwing you off that cliff. Sacrifice your body for the Soul Stone. I need the stone, Gamora.
What was Red Skull doing there?
Oh, Red Skull coming back, boy. What you mean? What was he doing there?
He was so, I don't know, man. He was there, just like looking at them.
You have to remember that he never died, and he's never died. Red Skull. So he's in the land of make believe or whatever, and he's gonna come back. If you watch the most recent trailer, here we are getting off topic. You got to remember they're traveling through time. Who was alive back in the first Captain America? MF and Red Skull.
True. That's my case. What? Johnny Cochran.
Yes. Chewbacca was a Wookiee. That is true. How about this? How about we get to the title that no one respects besides me? That's the big red title. I almost duped your son for one of those. Good thing I didn't know.
Come on, we're gonna try the NWO.
That NWO belt, make a run for it.
He probably would have actually. He probably would have paid that Ace reporter Tommy. He probably would have sold that, made that trade actually. But
so note, I owe you a red Universal title.
Come on, man.
This in the meantime.
For this makeshift homemade NWO belt, okay.
No, that's they sell those at Walmart. What do you mean?
It comes like that, does it?
I thought y'all must have Universal titles at Walmart and Target. We have that NWO belt and the WWE title, the Cruiserweight title, and we always have one half of each tag team title.
That's because you're
belts you can buy at Walmart.
That's because you're in Flair Country, the great Queen City. You got the it was NWA roots.
Listen here. Have I got the scoop for you? WrestleMania 2019, all the stars will align. And I, the Nature Boy, will be healthy once again to watch my daughter Charlotte Flair walk that aisle, styling and profiling, kiss stealing, willing dealing, son of a gun, and win her 9th women's championship. Or is it 8? I don't know. I'm 75. Woo!
I thought we were talking about the big red belt, not the big gold belt.
We are talking about the big red belt. I get off topic a lot in my podcast because I like to do different characters. That's what we do, people. That's how it goes. Back to that. Back to Cody Lowe. I'm sorry for using your government name. Seth freaking Rollins, a.k.a. the Beast Slayer, a.k.a. if I ever had a Christmas wish list, that would be what I would want. That T-shirt right there. That's the only one I want now. The SF&R one, but it's probably that one because it's got a cool yellow design on it. And I want, pretty sure Seth Rollins is now my favorite wrestler of the current genre. Yeah, he is. I watched his WWE 24. I have nothing but respect for this guy. But let's get to the story.
Is that where he started his promotion in his backyard with his friends?
Yeah, 24. That is what that is. And that was what really drew me. I was already in. I've been in since he was, the architect with the blonde streak. Loved him then. Loved him in the Shield. Loved him so that is that, And I was like, dang, why didn't we ever? I mean, we did that, but we didn't do it like that. We didn't have a tramp. We should have got a freaking trampoline, man. We could have been taking bumps when we were 13 years old. We could all be in the WWE right now. You could have been Enzo. You wouldn't have gotten in trouble. Anthony could have been freaking Spike Dudley, and I could have been the most famous black wrestler ever. I don't know.
Ahmed Johnson?
However, way cooler Bobby Lashley with much more charisma. That's what I would go with.
Damn.
You're damn right, and that's whack.
I like the catchphrase. Damn it, put that in a shirt.
Are you not buying in to Seth Rollins being the man that could finally dethrone the Beast? You have to remember that there is now a running article on Cage Side called Brock Lesnar, the most, the complete wrestler. And that whoever's doing this is doing a great job. They're detailing his career and why he is somehow the end-all, be-all, and somehow this indestructible force. I don't buy it.
Already on part 3, yeah.
But they're saying that, you got to look at his career, and let's just look at his most recent run since he came back now. Hasn't lost very much. I think he's lost to Taker, Triple H, and he lost his title but wasn't pinned, so he didn't lose. So I only can think of 2 losses that he's had since he's been back. He has lost no other matches, which means he's indestructible and unbeatable. Well, Roman Reigns beat him once, but I think he still ended up winning because he got the title back within 2 months. Sorry, that sucks. So he's basically the man to beat. He's like the dude at the end of Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. He's like Bison on Super Hard, playing that till 3 in the morning, trying to beat him and finally beat him. I know you remember that.
That was hard, man. Yeah.
The last guy on Killer Instinct, Donkey Kong on the last level of this guy is this, for whatever reason, Vince just thinks that he's such a draw and that he's just not human. But it's okay. He's the prize fighter. He doesn't have to talk. He just shows up. Paul talks. He walks. Game, set, match. Still your Universal Champion, the undefeated, undisputed Universal Champion, Brock Lesnar. And now he's going to get curb stomped straight to hell and lose his title. And it's going to be freaking beautiful. And Seth's going to swing that title over his head. And he's going to be prominent to that title. And he's going to defend it week after week after week on Monday Night Raw. And you know what else? He's going to do it way better than anyone else has ever done it. There's only been 2 to 3 Universal Champions. And you're looking at the future. And he's not even the future. He's the present. How do you feel about it?
I buy Seth Rollins as a champion. I buy Brock Lesnar as champion. But when they mix together right now, this feud is just not good, man. I think the problem is Brock Lesnar. It always goes back to this, and Anthony will back up on this because he's more passionate about it than me. But it's the fact that he's a part timer, man. He's not there every week, and it's hurting the feud. And I guarantee you, on WrestleMania night, it's gonna be an awesome match. Brock Lesnar always shows up with Daniel Bryan, showed up with AJ Styles, shows up with matches with Roman Reigns. But the builds to all those matches, they all suck, dude, because Brock Lesnar's not there, and Paul Heyman has to be his proxy, and it's not working anymore because we've been doing this for 3 or 4 years now, and it's not working. He needs to be there every week. He needs to be doing skits. He needs to be doing backstage interviews. He needs to be doing promos in the ring. He needs to be all doing stuff everyone else does, because it just doesn't work that he's only there half the time, not even half the time, maybe like 20% of the time. And it just hurts his dudes in the end. So I think this feud sucks, but it's not Seth Rollins' fault. You got to lay it on the feet of Brock Lesnar for not being there every week, or lay it on the feet of WWE for picking Brock Lesnar and giving him this sweet contract where he gets to play on his farm for 28 days out of the month. I mean, who can say no to that, man? Get paid the highest number on the roster and only have to work 3 days a month.
Why are we mad at someone who could be one of the smartest businessmen in the history of our modern era?
I'm not mad at him, man. Mad at WWE for giving him that deal, man. Because we don't need him. It could be Seth Rollins versus Drew McIntyre is the main feud. Seth Rollins versus Kevin Owens. Seth Rollins versus it could be someone else right now.
You just got to get the belt off of him. That's all. And you got to remember that this was in the essence of an unplanned leukemia attack. Like, he wasn't supposed to. He would not be champion right now if it wasn't for that. He might not even be there anymore. Like, this was a last ditch effort by Vince to give us something to watch, because we're all going to tune in the same way. And you guys can keep saying you don't support the feud. I don't really care. I do. Care if he shows up once every 3 weeks. Beat him. He's like Tom Brady. If you have so much to complain about, why don't you effing beat him? Get the title off of him. Then you won't have anything to say. They won't take it off of him.
I know, man.
They just feel like he's a better draw. Vince is very stubborn. You can see this.
Yeah.
You know it. And he obviously feels like no one else can hold the candle. And I don't disagree. I'd rather get a fat walrus talking about Brock Lesnar every week, whether he's there or not, than freaking who?
That's Drew McIntyre, Finn Balor, Dean Ambrose, someone.
He's a Drew McIntyre? You talking about 3MB Drew McIntyre?
He's not, man. He just headbutts people and just destroyed Dean Ambrose 2 weeks ago.
Push after this. Like, he's not. No. No, man. I'm sorry. Let him get a title and see how dull and boring he is and how fast he's washed. He ain't no Paul freaking Heyman.
I'll line him up with Paul Heyman then.
Paul Heyman. Like, what?
You can, man, because it's been 4 years of Paul Heyman saying the same thing. Well, no, it's not good, man. It's stale, dude.
Drew McIntyre's stale.
He's just got back. How is he stale?
Because his promos suck. I'm not afraid of. I'll punch Drew McIntyre in the face right now. Put him on front of me. I'll punch him. I don't care how tall he is.
You don't gotta punch him, man. I think he's like 6'5", man.
I don't care how tall he is. Did I not just say that? I'll still punch him. I don't care.
But he's tall. He's big too.
I don't care how big he is. He'll fall the same way. Get the F out of here. I can't believe you just disrespected Brock. Why do y'all hate Brock so much? Why?
No, it's not him. It's a combination of. I say he performs on the nights he's actually performed, but he doesn't perform enough. That's the problem. It's WWE's fault. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, it's Vince and Brock's fault for Brock for signing the deal, but who can say no to that? I can't blame him for that. And then Vince for giving him such a sweetheart deal, man.
He's got to make love disabled in the van down by the fire. He ain't got time to be around every week.
That's probably true, man.
I hope he loses the title at Mania so that he can ride off into the sunset and fight Daniel Cormier and maybe lose that fight too. I don't really know. He's obviously up there in age. He's kind of like Tom Brady. In a lot of ways, he's like Tom Brady.
He's not the GOAT.
He is the GOAT of once every 3 month appearances. Yes, he is the GOAT. But yeah, I hope he loses. I hope this match gets at least 10 minutes, maybe 15. I don't know. I don't. Maybe he has a clause in his contract of only 15-minute matches per capita. You never know what Vince signed, man. But it's like, I get what y'all are saying, but I mark out for Paul Heyman. He is my extension of CM Punk, and brings it every time. And it's like they tried to put him with other people besides Punk. It didn't work. It wasn't working with Curtis McGillicuddy. And yeah, I called him Curtis McGillicuddy.
It's disrespectful.
Well, he shouldn't have let that be his name. That was his fault. How you doing? How about that? How you doing?
Can't believe I brought up Enzo twice in this podcast.
Enzo's innocent, man. I'm gonna meet him. One of my buddies apparently has connections to Enzo Amari and Braun Strowman, so we're gonna make this happen.
Please use the Braun Strowman connection, not the Enzo connection.
How you doing?
Enzo's such trash. Gosh.
Oh yeah, he's pure trash. But so are Sagittariuses, and guess what I am? A Sagittarius. Woo!
Oh wow, what a heel turn! What a heel to face turn again. We should probably talk about Kofi Mania before this night's wraps up. Especially now Anthony's not here, the resident Brock Lesnar hater and the New Day hater. I'm curious what he would have to say about this, but
he would have to love this. He has no reason not to love this because of his hatred of the New Day. He has an absolute hatred of them. I don't know if it's their pancake power, their outfits, the singlets, their hair. I don't know what it is. Don't know why he hates them so much. Never really figured it out. Don't really care. But he's got to be loving this, right? Vincent Kennedy McMahon screwing Kofi Kingston over and over and over, and I don't know why. Like, is he getting a match at Mania? Are they going to make it a triple threat match? Is he not getting a match at Mania? What is the point of this? Because what's going to end up happening is people from Atlanta are going to start asking questions. Because if I'm Donald Glover and I'm watching this, I'm going to start asking questions. I'm going to start writing letters. They're not going to go anywhere, but I'm going to start asking those questions.
Biggie and Xavier Woods are asking those questions.
That's all right. So clearly, as I thought, Paul, because you and I are mentally connected, Mr. Levesque, what better way than to play Kofi by putting him up against the man, and maybe using a little bit of racism underlying? We're not really going to say it out loud.
I don't think WWE can handle that, man.
Oh, no, they better not be able to handle that. Like, come on, dude. A good portion of your fans are black. They're all colors. All shapes and sizes, and we combine together. And when we see someone with a shirt, it's like, sweet shirt, brah. Too sweet. And what? Yeah, I said it on the show twice, Paul. I'm waiting for you to sue me or wrestle me. And I've never been in the ring, and I'll still kick your ass. What do you want to do? Kofi Mania is a big deal, but I want to know, what are they going to? Have you heard anything? Is there an end game to this? They're not talking about it. What
I don't know, man. I don't think they know, man. But I don't know what the backup plan is. If it's not Kofi 1-on-1, then what do you do? Like Kevin Owens.
Kofi 1-on-1. Kevin Owens is going to WrestleMania to fight Daniel Bryan for that title. It's just a matter of if it's a triple threat or not. Man.
Could they do a ladder match maybe? Because they usually have a ladder match once WrestleMania. Maybe they'll do that for the ladder match.
Do you like this, Vince McMahon? This is obviously the corporate McMahon. He's very heel, but he's kind of nonchalantly a heel. I mean, he's old, he can't do much, but he's out there screwing over Kofi, putting them in matches, then being like, "Just kidding, it was Mustafa Ali. It was never you."
He's an asshole, man. I mean, it's good, man. That's like natural heel, man. Mr. McMahon character from the Attitude Era, one of the best heels of all time. So, I mean, if they want to dust him off and bring him back, I guess, man. I think that's there's probably respect to Kofi, just saying that he's like worthy to work with Vince McMahon, because it doesn't come out very often, and he's been gone for
Think
months
about
and months at a
that.
time. So yeah, so maybe that is a sign that they're going to do something with Kofi. Because if you're going to bring Vince McMahon back, there's got to be some kind of payoff. You can't just bring him back and then have him keep screwing Kofi and then have no payoff. So
That is a
yeah.
revelation in and of itself. I didn't even. This is what's beautiful about this sport. If you think the wrestling is corny or that I'm corny, F you. Because look at the story. You're talking about the pioneer of wrestling today, Vincent Kennedy McMahon, the man that put all his eggs in one basket and is now a billionaire. Anyone should sit down with Vince McMahon for 5 minutes to figure out how to be rich if they can. He's working with Kofi Kingston. No one's thinking about this.
Mm-hmm.
Vincent Kennedy McMahon, who's damn near 80, is working with Kofi Kingston. Oh, yeah, he's screwing him over, but he's putting his entire WrestleMania season into working with Kofi freaking Kingston. You know how good that makes Kofi look? No matter what happens in this, no matter if he gets in the match or he doesn't, you got to work with Vincent McMahon. That's a lot, man. That's a big deal. That's a
Mm-hmm.
big deal. And you're playing it off of it's unfair for us and da 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 da. And he's saying, I just don't think you're worthy. I don't think you're worthy of a title shot. I don't care. You are the Black Dolph Ziggler. That is you. Without
You should say that, man.
broke
Jeez.
the internet. Do something about it. This is America. I can say whatever I want. Free speech has never changed. So look, whether Kofi goes to WrestleMania and fights for that title or not, it doesn't matter. This is some of his best work ever, and he's not even saying much. In fact, Big E and Xavier are doing all the talking, and he's just there, eating pancakes, wallowing in his sauce, trying to figure out why Vincent Kennedy McMahon doesn't believe in him. It's genius. It's pure evil genius. Not to mention that his son has turned on The Miz and his dad in his hometown of Cleveland, Ohio. There's just so many good things happening right now. I don't know if I can contain myself. I'm about to have an overload. My allergies are about to explode backwards. Think about what they're doing. They're pulling out all the stops for WrestleMania season. This might be one of the WrestleManias with the most matches on the card, and I love everything about it. Every face and heel turn has been pretty decent. Elias is just an entertainer. I don't even know what he's anymore. He just sings in between matches. That's what he does. Alexa Bliss is a hostess. God damn it. She's the best damn hostess that there is. She doesn't even have to wrestle. This is World Wrestling Entertainment. We entertain and then we wrestle. And then we wrestle and entertain. Are you not entertained?
Gladiator. Man, yeah. Speaking of entertaining, speaking of old school gladiators, man, before we get out of here, Kurt Angle. Kurt Angle retirement, man. He's supposed to retire. Last match, his farewell match next month at WrestleMania. The controversy right now is, should it be Baron Corbin? Should that be the match he goes out on? People are saying no, and then some people are saying yes. What do you think about Kurt Angle ending his career possibly in 2.5 weeks from now?
Against Baron Corbin?
Yeah, in general, yeah.
Those lame? I'll allow it.
Okay. I know you're a fan of Baron Corbin. You're probably the biggest fan of Baron Corbin among the three of us.
I am. You know why? Because I watch what he does in the ring. I don't know. You must not watch his matches. He doesn't really mess up much. He's like 6'8" and he moves like he's 6'2" or 5'10" or D-Bry size.
He's
not
fast, yeah.
over ropes, but he can slide under that ring real smooth. He even took a kick to the face and still finished the spot. Like, what are you talking about? And then he has a disgusting setup finisher, which can be a finisher, not to mention another finisher. That's all you need is a big man. Kevin Nash ain't doing that ish. Kevin Nash
That's true.
Do that ish. Razor Ramon, Scott Hall, whatever you want, Benny freaking Vegas, they ain't doing that. They're not doing that. I was for and against Baron Corbin. I was like, this lone wolf is cool. Then they changed him to the Constable. I was like, this is stupid. But now I'm kind of, yeah, he's kind of like a Lex Luthor, but he's not rich. He's just dresses in these extremely tight dress shirts. With either one of those moves, you might lose. And he's a good heel, and he's not too terrible on the microphone. And he's got his own legion. He's got a Legion of Doom or Legion of whatever they're called. They don't really have a name, but someone on Cage Side dropped something. Now, to be the guy that ends Kurt Angle, I mean, it's good for him. So I feel like maybe
should they have gone with someone else with that? Should they gone like Chad Gable? Should they gone like Finn And I don't know,
What
man.
the?
Come
You're
on,
writing your storylines.
it's in my
No,
notes, man.
he's not. He's a C plus player. You're riding the coattails of Bobby Roode for crying out loud. You guys don't even like Bobby Roode.
Well, it's
No.
true. Like, give Gable a chance. Someone, I don't know, someone from NXT. I don't know.
Tommaso Ciampa's neck is broken.
That's sad, man. Yeah. So I mean, I feel like they should. You kind of sold me on Baron Corbin. He's a great athlete. I think people are just really sour on him because he was the GM and the face of Raw for so many of the bad months.
Are they as sour as they were on what was that guy? People Power, Johnny People. What was his name?
John Laurinaitis.
Yeah, they can't be as sour as that. That was pretty crappy.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. No, I don't think so, man. I mean, he's got all the tools, man. He's got the size, he got the moves. He's improving on the mic, a lot better on the mic. Yeah, I think it's the WWE thing where they gotta tweak something to get him like connected with the fans more.
Yeah.
But
I feel you. Like when you're in an older age, the way you watch things, and if you're a creative and entertainer like myself, you look for the production, and you now, whereas people watch for, I don't know, whatever children watch and whatever younger people. Me myself, I like evaluate things, so I'm like, oh, okay, so he did this move here and this move here, and this is the story here, and boom, 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 and I'm just not sour on him. And then they were just saying that they were big on him until he said something in a magazine, or he did something that they didn't like. And, you know how that goes. They sour on you when you do stuff like that. You get some heat. EC3's got heat, or Vince just doesn't think he has it. Still, I mean,
I forgot about EC3. Where's EC3 Insanity?
well, they're not being used. Neither is Bray Wyatt. I mean, what happened to AOP?
Oh shit, I forgot about AOP. Yeah,
Forgot about AOP. We're talking about former Raw tag teams. Where are the Good Brothers?
the Good Brothers supposed to be leaving free agency. I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, they're one of the teams that's going to supposedly leave. We'll see, though, right? I mean, who knows, man? People are always supposed to leave, and then they don't. Like, I don't even know if Ambrose is really going to leave or not. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
does Renee Young leave? Does she want to?
Nah.
Will they play that out on Total Divas? Next year, is she even on Total Divas anymore? They change that up all the time now.
She is not now.
She's not on Total Divas anymore.
I think she's only on for one season. Yeah.
Oh crap! Who'd they replace her with? Mandy Rose? She's a goddess.
I think they brought Paige back.
They brought Paige back. Paige isn't even wrestling anymore, for crying out bloody loud.
There's Sonya Deville was on there too now. I think last season.
That was already, so that wasn't this year. That was last year.
I think Renee Young was like 2 or 3 seasons ago. Total Divas.
Oh
I don't watch it anymore,
yeah,
so
I was watching it, and the last episode that's on my Hulu right now is Lana's wedding. Lana's wedding. That was so
that's really long. I think Rusev had long hair still.
He did have long hair still, and I should watch it, but it's like I would have to go all the way through Naomi's push, and I'm like, I don't, and that was just, it's just so outdated. Like watching Rollins 24, it was so long ago. I was just like, oh, I mean, it was dope, but it was such a long time ago. I mean, that was when he ran out and pedigreed Roman Reigns. That was forever and a day ago. That was before the brand split and the Universal title and Mick Foley's last run as GM.
I forgot Mick Foley was a run as GM. Jeez.
Are you feeling I don't know. I guess we'll see what happens with Angle and Corbin. They're saying that could change. Maybe Angle runs the gauntlet against the Legion of
Come on. What?
My only was really just you think the tag division is cool with the Usos as SmackDown tag champ. I don't even know who they're fighting.
The Usos are my favorite team, but there's no storyline for them since Shane McMahon and Miz broke up, and then is the Revival even the champions still on Raw?
Yeah, man. What are you doing?
That's what I'm saying, man.
Bro, yeah, they're still the champs.
That's what I'm saying. That's how bad it is, man. You have to double check to see what the champs are because there's just no push. Unless they want to do a Revival versus Usos crossover at WrestleMania, that's the only thing that get me interested.
They're not going to do that. They're going to do the Revival.
They're not going to do it.
Face, I don't know who, and the Usos will wrestle the bar.
This will both be on a pre-show, and I will skip it because it's on the pre-show.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen. The Usos right now, they're being pushed right now. Well, they were, but I don't know what's going to happen now. I mean,
yeah.
Maybe Sanity finally comes back to life, or They call up, I don't know, Dosovich and what's the name, but they're clearly just there for comic relief. This McMahon probably just laughs at that. That's probably why he has them doing that stuff that they're doing right now. He's like, I don't know what to do with you guys. Just go out there and join the conga line. Whatever. That's a perfect impression.
Vince McMahon phoning it in. All right, man. It was a good show.
AEW. Lastly, they signed Allie. They announced they signed her. They are signing people left and right. I am waiting for them to sign the Good Brothers and or Dean Ambrose post WrestleMania.
Trying to make them run out of money, man. They're blowing through their budget.
Yeah, you damn. They got freaking Shad Khan. They got the Irish back in the
That's you can't say that on Heat.
I just said it. Again, this is America. Fight me for it. You got a problem, fight me. We can fight.
Okay, Chuck. Okay. I don't know, that tugboat's following you around for some reason right now.
Want to fight about it? Oh, no. He was like, hey, who's looking for a fight, huh? I like a fight. Hey, Dugga! That was a great episode. South Park is awesome. But nah, man, we're here. We're doing it. I'm ready for WrestleMania. I think the build is going okay in most of the storylines. I guess we'll see anything bigger for Rollins and Brock. Keep in mind he's also side feuding with McIntyre, and when he wins that title, he could ergo feud with so many people. McIntyre, Reigns.
You just buried McIntyre a half hour ago on this very program.
Oh, he can still feud with them. He still sucks. He's not.
Oh, come on.
I don't care how many Claymore kicks you have. You still suck. I'm just not impressed. You're not selling me on your Game of Thrones mentality. I'm sorry. That's all you are to me is an extra from Game of Thrones.
An extra, not even a...
And they've got your head cut off. That's all you're worth to me, McIntyre. I'd rather see David Bautista get a push like that.
Oh, my God.
McIntyre right now. You damn right I'd rather see the Animal. You got to remember, I didn't get to see the Animal in his prime. Neither did you, because we didn't watch wrestling back then. We didn't see him turn on Rey Mysterio.
Well, we watched it. We took a break, man. We watched it before that. We watched the Attitude Era. We watched the 80s, the 90s, and we took a sabbatical.
So now we get this horrible Batista run, but now we're getting what could possibly be, once again, some of his best heel work ever. This is an actor that has somehow found his way into Hollywood, and he's nailing it. He's not The Miz. He's bigger than The Miz. He's Marvel, for crying out loud. And they got the guy back that he wanted. So Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, you're welcome. It's coming. Yeah, man, get hype. I don't know. WrestleMania is going to be crazy. We didn't even talk about Shane McMahon, the heel. Do you like that? He's a heel.
I have no comment about that, man. I think NXT TakeOver in New York is going to be lit, man. Matthew Riddle.
You have no comment about Shane McMahon.
I'm just skipping over it, man. That might be a matchup. I go make some nachos or something, man. I go back to
skip over the heel turn of Shane O'Mac.
Man, WrestleMania is gonna be long, man. I gotta pace myself. I'm gonna go get some nachos, or I'm gonna go get some vegan buffalo wings.
Vegan nachos, aren't you? Or some vegan fried rice.
Yeah, exactly.
That stuff was delicious.
It was mushu pork. Yeah, man. Yeah, AEW, NXT TakeOver. It's gonna be a good wrestling weekend, WrestleMania weekend.
Watch Being the Elite because I kind of.
Oh gosh, so far behind.
It just
There's a new show, Road to Double or Nothing, that I've been watching because it's only like 5 minutes long every time.
Road's Double or Nothing.
No, Road to Double or Nothing.
Roadie?
No, the Road to the Road to Double or Nothing. There's only 8 episodes, and they're each like 5 minutes long. This is behind the scenes.
Double or Nothing already happened?
No, it happens in May.
This is the start of their show. That's their first show.
Yeah, but they have the Road to Double or Nothing on YouTube. And it's on.
I got you now. Look, all I've been doing is watching Vlad TV, man. I watched Mob James. That was Suge Knight's, like, that was his into like the Bloods, and that was his big head of security streets. Them dudes. Trey D. The bank, like, all I do is watch Vlad TV interviews, try to make our podcast sound cooler. But I'm gonna watch the Double or Nothing right now. I'm about to put it on. I mean,
yeah, YouTube that, man. It's worth it, man. That's good, man.
No, bro. It's just I work a lot. I'm a working man, and it's like when I come home, I just cut on Vlad and I just listen to everything the dudes say, and I'm just like, wow, And all I've concluded is that Suge Knight got Tupac killed, and Suge Knight, is going to sit in prison for a long time. And I've also concluded that Tekashi 6ix9ine is a rat. That's all I've got.
Well, on that note, thank you for all our listeners on Cage Side Seats, all our listeners on YouTube, all international listeners over in Europe and Japan and Mexico, up in Canada. Thank you for listening. Thank you for checking us out. Thank you for going on the road to WrestleMania with your Bros for Elbow show. Next time, the producer will be back, so we'll have another 3-man booth. We'll have a full team, a full squad to come with you and break down WrestleMania, maybe some picks. Maybe some crazy predictions and all that good stuff. Theron, any last words for your fans, for the people of the audience?
As I've gone on in my many a soliloquy, I look out into the clouds and I wonder, will our producer ever come back to the show? Has he suffered the fate of famous dick wrestler Joey Ryan?
Oh my gosh.
Died forever. Or will he come back? Like perhaps the most electrifying man in sports entertainment, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, for one more run? Or will he break our hearts like Phil Brooks did when he walked out on WWE 5 years ago? Or will we no longer care because he's Phil Brooks and he's a douchebag now? All these questions are more answered next week. I mean, did he actually verbally say he was coming back? I don't think he said yes. I think he just never answered again. Did you put that in writing? Did you put that in the contract? You got to get contracts now, man. Stuff's got to be on paper. There's no ties to anything. I've been watching a lot of Vlad TV. Till next time, stay thirsty, my friends.
Elbow drop your friends, people.
That's right. Shout out Mandy Rose, bro. And